Hey everyone, I wanted to give some last minute pointers on the in-class essay that you are going to be taking. Obviously, not in class because we're not in class, but it's still going to be given to you at the same time as your class period. It will be pushed out to you as an assignment. You will still be timed. You have until the end of class in order to complete the in-class essay. And remember, you already know what it's going to look like. You're going to be receiving a passage. You have a question that you need to answer. You're going to have a thesis template. You're going to have to choose whether you think someone made a good or bad decision, for example. It's going to be something like that. Okay, so you're going to have to choose one or the other and stick with it in order to prove your argument. So, the outline that you have received, the prompt, the way that your sample test look like is exactly what you're going to do. You're just going to actually type paragraphs basically and turn it in by the end of class for your in-class essay. That is the big difference, is actually writing the essay for this. Obviously, I cannot police you. You can have your books out, you can have your notes out. I mean, so have those out if you would like. Because I'm not gonna be watching you. I would say that you can look through the internet for some answers. I feel like it's going to waste your time, and also if you are also we've talked about this play for a really long time. You guys know it. You know what happens in Romeo and Juliet. You know some of the themes and ideas. You know what's going on. If you have your notes with you, if you want to refer to your book for some context, if you need it, I think that's all you need. I feel like just searching for all the right answers is going to waste your time because there's nowhere on the internet that is going to have your essay word for word typed out exactly what you need. So it's just going to waste your time as well. So just kind of keep that in mind when you're writing this in class essay. So a couple of things. First off, titles of plays are italicized. So you guys, since you're typing, you can do Romeo and Juliet and make sure that you italicize when you refer to the play Romeo and Juliet. Okay. And the other thing that I want to remind you of is that our parenthetical is going to be different. So when you do a citation for a quote, you're going to use the line numbers separated, or you're just going to use the line numbers. You do not have a page. We don't have a page number, so just do the line numbers. I will have the line numbers listed there for you guys on the left-hand side of the page of your test. So you would just go ahead and you would just count basically and figure out where you are in the lines. Okay, so just like this parenthetical shows here, that's the parenthetical that you would use. If you quote multiple lines, you don't want to make it look like the book. Okay, so you don't want to have it in that kind of like poem form. You want to use slashes. So Juliet says, "What if it be a poison which the friar slash subtly hath ministered to have me dead?" Parenthetical line numbers, end it. Period. Okay, that's how it should look when you are quoting, and you will need to write out the quotes that you want to use as evidence. You're going to have a topic sentence, which we discussed. You just like a regular quote sandwich. That's what, remember, have a regular quote sandwich steps. Have a short sentence of context. So I would say Juliet attempts to convince herself to not go along with the plans, initially distrusting Friar Lawrence. She says, begin quote. Okay, so make sure that you follow all of your quote sandwich steps like normal. Okay. The best way to tackle an in-class essay is to remember your ABCs. A is attack the prompt. Okay. So I want you to think about what the question is. I want you to think about the choice that you have to make. If like, for example, Juliet, is it a good decision or a bad decision? Maybe you see that it's both. Maybe you're like, it's both good and bad. Well, you can't argue that. Pick one. Okay. And stick with it. Pick the one that you think that you have the most evidence for. Okay, so if you're in between and you don't really know, if you say, well, I have more evidence to show that Juliet made a good decision, then go ahead and go for it. But pick one side, you have to, okay? B is to brainstorm ideas. Go back and look at the question and passage again. How many examples do you need? How many paragraphs? I'll answer for that for you right now. You need 2 examples. You need 2 quotes. You're going to write 3 paragraphs total. How should you structure the essay? By your outline. Just make sure you know what to do. Okay. Follow that outline format in creating your paragraphs. C, choose your topic, your examples, and your structure. Okay. And so this is basically finding your quotes, picking your side of the situation, whether or not you agree with something or don't, right? That's what you're going to be doing. You're going to be highlighting the quotes and finding your quotes that you're going to be using, filling out that outline that is given to you. Okay. Read the passage multiple times. You have time to be able to read read that passage over and over again and make some notes for yourself so you understand the gist, right? You understand pretty much what's going on. D, draft your essay. This is basically just writing. Okay, I would say take about 10 minutes of planning. Take your time. You have time. It's 3 paragraphs. It's not a ton of paragraphs. So you do have time in this 80-minute class period to be able to write 3 paragraphs. So stop for a second, make sure you know what to do. Take your 10 minutes to get that outline filled out, get your ideas out, and then you can go ahead and you can begin actually writing. Okay. I would say writing would take somewhere between 35 to 45 minutes. And then E, edit any errors. So make sure that you give yourself of 10 minutes or so before the period is over to reread your draft to make sure you covered everything. Give it one last read. Make sure that you add something. Or if sometimes when we're writing really quickly, we leave a sentence unfinished. Give yourself time to finish that sentence. So read it one more time before you turn it in. So that's a brief review of times here. And I will be on this space. I will give you some at the WebEx space, and I will kind of let you know when you have a certain amount of time left. But be watching your time. Know when your class period ends and when you have to turn in this essay. Okay. Some tips for studying, just recall the basic plot of the play, have your notes for yourself, know the plot, know what happens throughout the whole play. Think of all the main characters and their involvement in Romeo and Juliet's tragedy. Think of the parents and the role of the parents. We spend a lot of time talking about the adults. What were some things that we said about the adults? Okay. What are some themes that we see in Romeo and Juliet? List them, write about how we see them, where do we see them? Okay. Be familiar with some of those bigger themes and ideas that we see in Romeo and Juliet. And review all your notes, your discussion questions, and worksheets that we did throughout this unit. Of course, you can access all this, right, while you're doing it, but remember, you have to give yourself enough time to do the actual writing during this. Okay, so that's it for now. Again, if you have any questions about the in-class essay, feel free to email me, send me a message on WebEx, whatever, and we will get through this. See you guys later.